I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry. Okay, right, thank you Ritesh. Okay, so we have discussed about the editions, right? We have discussed about the editions, and you can see selected at a version will help you to find the version of the SQL Server and edition of the SQL Server. And again, if you see here, Microsoft SQL Server 2008 R2, this one, this is the version, and Microsoft Corporation Developer Edition. Up to here, it belongs to SQL Server. Okay, details and all. This SQL Server has been installed on Windows NT 6.1. This SQL Server has been installed on Windows NT 6.1 means Windows 7 operating system. I have installed this SQL Server in the desktop operating system which is running on Windows 7, and this service pack 1 belongs to my Windows operating system service pack, not SQL Server service pack. Okay, the service pack 1 means my Windows operating system service pack. Okay, not SQL Server service pack. SQL Server service pack, you can see here your SQL Server 2008 R2 has been patched with SP3 in the brackets. You can see it was patched with SP3. Okay, so usually if you don't patch the SQL Server in the brackets, it will show RTM. If you patch the SQL Server, it will show the patch level. If it is SP1, SP2, SP3, SP4 like that, it is going to show you the patch level and all. Okay, just 1 minute. So it will simply show the patch level here. If you don't patch your SQL Server, it will show as a RTM. RTM means released to market. Okay, so we have completed the editions of the SQL Server. And remember one more thing, you have to remember all these editions. Okay, Express edition, evaluation edition, standard edition, developer edition, enterprise edition. Sometimes customer will ask you, hey, please install developer edition in the production environment. You cannot do it. Sometimes in the organization, auditing will happen. Auditing or audit. Audit means internal audit will be there or external audit will be there. External audit means Microsoft people will come, they will check whether you are paying licensing fees properly or not, how many Microsoft Windows operating systems you are using, how many SQL server you are using. So everything they are going to calculate with the help of a lot of scripts will be there. With the help of those scripts, they will calculate how many editions, how many versions, what and all editions you are using. Based on that, they will what they can say, they will generate a bill. Okay, how much you have to pay, how much actually you are paying. So that is called auditing. Okay, internal audit also will happen. So if Microsoft found anything guilty, okay, guilty means if anything wrong with the organization, okay, they are using 100 SQL servers but they are paying licensing only for 10 SQL servers. In such cases, Microsoft will like give penalties and all to that organization. Okay, lot of penalties, very huge fines will be there. Even you are also using SQL Server Enterprise Edition, right? If Microsoft found that you are using an Enterprise Edition without paying anything, they have rights to charge you. Okay, so they can also impose fines on you. They can proceed legally on you as you are using Enterprise Edition without paying the money and all, but people are going to use it. Okay, Microsoft also, it will not concentrate much on the personal usage. Okay, if it is the organizational usage and all, then it will concentrate more. So there are a lot of auditings will be there, internal auditing, external auditing and all. So internal auditing means company will do audit. Okay, why Microsoft has to catch us, why again it is a big headache, right? Again paying lot of money as a fines. So internally, organization will conduct some auditing and all. Okay, they will check what and all editions you are using in what and all environments and all, right? So if anyone asks you, hey, please install developer edition on the production environment, it will be installed, no issues, you will not get any errors, but it's not a standard procedure. Okay, it's not a recommendation. Okay, you cannot go in that way. You can directly say to the customer, sir, this is a free edition, we cannot install on the production environment and all. You can directly say to the customer. Okay, right? So any issues till now? Fine. Any doubts, any issues? Okay, fine. Anil, you can record. I guess I gave you the recording permissions, you can record.
Right, it's recording.
It's recording. For me it's not showing anything. Okay, right, fine.
But
So yeah, okay. So components of the SQL server, what and all components are there in the SQL server with this. Okay, once it was completed, we are going to see the demo, right? I'll tell you how to install virtual machine, what is virtual machine and all. We'll discuss how to install virtual machine and all. what kind of softwares we are going to use, we are going to discuss it. Okay, so components of the SQL Server. So if you buy any product, you can see on that product, okay, components. There are some mixed components will be there, right? Okay, to prepare that food and all, you have a lot of components. Okay, they will mention all the components. Okay, this is this many grams, this is this many grams. It's like that. In SQL Server also, we have different components. As discussed earlier, SQL Server, what is the SQL Server definition? SQL Server is an RDBMS software which is going to use to store the data, to process the data, to retrieve the data. These three things can be done by the database engine services. Very important. Heart, brain, whatever you are going to think. Okay, that is that much important, the database engine. So database engine, your data is going to be processed by database engine. Your data is going to be stored by your database engine. Your data is going to be retrieved by your database engine. If there is no database engine, there is no SQL Server. Everything can be done by the database engine service only. Everything can be done by the database engine service only. Data storing, retrieving, processing, everything can be achieved with the help of database engine services. So in the SQL Server software, you will have database engine service. Once you install SQL Server software, you will get database engine service. Apart from data storing, processing, and retrieving, we can use SQL Server. Okay, you can use SQL Server. There are a lot of services also there: analysis services, reporting services, and integration services. These are the three main services: analysis, reporting, okay, and integration services and all. These are the main components. Apart from this, you have different components also there: data transformation services, DTS and all. I'll show you at the time of installation. Okay, so these are the extra add-ons. These are extra add-ons. Analysis services means you can analyze the data by using the SQL Server. You can analyze the data. Okay, say for example, more supermarket gave one project for us. So it is asking, where is my sales are down, in which area, in which location my sales are down, let me know. Why? Because it is collecting all, like as a DBA you have to know the importance of the data. As a DBA, you have to know the importance of the data. Do you know what they are going to do with your data? Anyone having any idea what they are going to do with the help of your data? Your phone number, your name, everywhere. If you go in India, especially in India, everywhere they are collecting your data. That is illegal as per the Information Act of Union Government. That is illegal. They cannot collect your personal data, mobile number, and your name and all. Simply everyone will collect. If you go to more supermarket, they will ask your phone number and all. Don't give your phone number to anyone. Why? Because they are going to analyze your data. They will simply analyze how much you are buying, how much you are eating. Okay, so simply if you see, if you buy 1 kg dal, okay, again next month they will send you. Okay, so dal, they are going to give some offers on dal. They will easily analyze when and all you are buying dal. Okay, every 10 days you are buying dal, or every 15 days you are buying dal. Okay, that means these people are using 1 kg dal for 15 days. Okay, they are going to analyze. So they are going to announce, or they are going to send you personalized offers for you. Not only that one, even if you go for any medical stores also, they are going to take your mobile number and all. They cannot collect like that. Do you know, while discussing this 2 hours discussion, your number will goes to at least 10 people. They are selling your information. They are selling your information and all. You are getting, you will get lot of messages from different customers. You are not going to share, but they will sell your data. If anyone asked you, don't give. What is the need of that particular mobile number with them? Okay, they can't, they are not authorized persons to collect your mobile numbers and all. Simply they are going to sell your data. Okay, they are going to sell your data. That is very risky kind of thing. Okay, so it's not at all an acceptable solution, but they cannot do like that. But no one is asking. Okay, simply if anyone is asking mobile number and all, every shop or else every store, if I go anywhere, they will ask you the mobile number. Sir, please mobile number. No, I don't have mobile number. Or else why I have to provide the mobile number for you? Simply early morning, night and all, they are going to provide different offers. That is not a big issue, but they are going to sell your data. Okay, with the help of your number, they can easily identify what is your height, what is your weight, what is your problems, what is your health problems and all. Everything they can easily identify. Almost 20 to 30 columns will be added for you with the help of your mobile number. You don't believe it. Okay, you don't believe it. almost 20 to 30 columns, like what is his color. If you are black and all, okay, he is going to sell your contact to the beauty clinics and all. Okay, if your height or else like whatever issues you are having, okay, if you are having bald head and all, they are going to sell your data to the this hair transplantation whatever clinics are there, they are going to sell your data to them. So you are simply going to get the messages from them. Okay, okay, these are the offers, these are the offers they are going to provide. Okay, like that. So don't give your mobile number to anyone. They will tell you something, sir, the bill will not be processed. Okay, no issues. Okay, I will not take the product, but don't ask my mobile number. Okay, so don't give your mobile number to anyone. Okay, so you don't know what they can do anything with your mobile number and all. They can track you like anything with your mobile number. Okay, you have to be very careful. Why? Because you have chosen your career as a database administrator. Database means data. Okay, very important how data is going to be processed in the next few years and all. Okay, right. So these are the extra add-ons. With the help of your SQL Server, you can install analysis services. Okay, these analysis services are going to get with the SQL Server software itself. These are the add-ons. If you want, you can select it. Analysis services will simply help you to analyze the data. Again, it's an application. You can use database, SQL Server database at the end, at the back end as a database software, or else you can use any other RDBMS software like Oracle also. That's not an issue. But analysis services is an application which will help you in analyzing the data. Reporting services is an application which will help you to generate reports by using the data. These reporting services in the backend, they can use either SQL Server database, or they can use either Oracle or else MySQL, NoSQL, Postgres, MongoDB, Informatica, anything they can use as a backend database. But reporting services is an application which will comes with the SQL Server software. If you want, you can install it. If you don't want, no need to select it. Integration services, integrate. It can help you to integrate the data using different sources. Okay, it can help you to integrate the data using different say for example, you want to load the data from Excel sheet to database. You want to load the data from Notepad to database. You want to load the data from other RDBMS softwares to SQL Server. In the same way, you want to export the data from your SQL Server to any Excel sheet, from your SQL Server to any Notepad, from your SQL Server to any other RDBMS softwares. You can integrate the data from different data sources. You can import the data from different data sources, and you can export the data to different data sources by using these integration services. These three services are going to call Business Intelligence Development Studio, BIDS. Okay, this is a separate course. Anyone is trying for business analyst and all, they can, okay, learn this course, Business Intelligence Development Studio and all. Again, okay, for only with bids you cannot get the job. You should have bids and Power BI and all if you want to try as a business analyst and all. So like this it is going to work. But why we will get, why we have to discuss these points? Why? Because sometimes customers will ask you, hey, please install analysis services, hey, please install reporting services, please install integration services. Of course we are going to install by default. Like that they are going to ask you. Okay, don't ask what is this analysis services and all. So these are the extra services provided by the Microsoft in the SQL Server software itself. If you want, if customer is asking, then only you have to select. Don't select if customer is not asking. Again, you have to pay extra licensing for this. Why? Because add-ons, these are the add-ons. Every time for add-ons you have to pay extra licensing and all. Okay, fine. Is it clear? Right. Right. So these are the components. Database engine services is the main component of the SQL Server, and apart from that, you will get analysis services, reporting services, and integration services. For latest versions 2017 and all, R, programming, Python, database services, master data services, MDS, master data services. These are the extra components and all. I'll show you while installing 2017. Okay. Till now, is it clear, everyone? Anil, Ashwin, Karthik, Lavanya, Madhavi, Rajesh, Ritesh, Yam, Saujanya.
Yes, clear, Shanmugh.
Okay. Right. Okay. Fine. So we'll discuss about, okay, installations. Okay. So before discussing about the installations, okay, we'll go for a small other discussion and all. Virtual machines. What is this virtual machines? Okay. What is a physical machine? Everything we are going to discuss. Okay. Right. So I'll tell you one thing. In the organization, earlier you see, right? So we have to go in early ages. So earlier, if you see computer, it will be like a big building. For calculating 1 plus 1 is equal to how much, the computer, you know, it is like a big building. Early stages of computer, okay, that big building will calculate what is 1 plus 1 is equal to. Okay, so later and all it was very much developed and all, and you can see the laptops or PCs. Okay, we can't discuss how much it was developed and all, but now you can see the PCs, laptops and all, right? So actually we have two types of machines: physical machines, virtual machines. Physical machine, virtual machines. Machine means what? Simply your computer. Okay, in the organization we are going to call it as a machine box. Okay, please reboot the box. They will tell you please reboot the box. Box means don't ask what box I have to reboot and all. Box means your machine, your server. Okay, your server. They will ask you sometimes please reboot the box, please reboot the machine and all. Box or machine means simply your server. So they will ask you to reboot the server and all, right? So physical machine means simply you can see you can feel, you can touch it. Physical machine, like your laptop, you can touch it, right? The one which you are attending the classes, which you are using to attend the classes and all, you can touch the machine. It will exist physically. Those machines are called physical machines. Virtual machines means you can feel it, you can see it, but you cannot touch it. Virtually it will be there. Same everything, both are going to work same. Both should have memory to work, both should have CPU to work, both should have storage to work, both should have network to work. Everything are same. Physical machines you can touch, but whereas virtual machines you cannot touch. Those machines will exist virtually. Okay, those machines will exist virtually. Say for example, how they will create virtual machines and all, simply you will have CPU pool. Okay, you will have storage pool. Okay, and you will have memory pool. Memory is different, storage is different. I guess probably you know the difference between those two. Memory means your RAM. Okay, storage means your hard disk. Okay, so they will take some CPU logical processors from this CPU. Okay, this is CPU cores, and this is your memory pool. Memory, sorry, and this is your storage pool. So for configuring any machine, these are main things: CPU, memory and storage. These are the main resources. Without these resources you cannot configure any machine. Okay, so what is a virtual machine means? Simply virtual machine is a machine. Okay, they are going to collect some cores and some memory, some storage, everything they will collect, and they will create a machine. Okay, say for example, if you have 16 cores or else like some 128 cores here, they will take 8 cores and they will allocate those 8 cores to the virtual machine. Okay, and you have 512 GB of RAM. From 512 GB of RAM, they will allocate how much they needed. Maybe they need a 8 GB RAM, 12 GB RAM, 16 GB RAM. They will allocate something. Okay, they will allocate something to the virtual machine, and they will allocate some memory to the virtual machine. And you have, imagine you have 10 terabytes of storage pool. Okay, they will allocate 2 terabytes to this. So the machine will exist, like how you can see now, how you can see my screen, the machine will exist, but it will exist only virtually. It will not exist, okay, physically and all. Physical machines means you can see the RAM, you can see the storage, and you can see, okay, that particular machine, okay, with your eyes. Okay, but whereas virtual machine, you cannot see the RAM. Those are all virtual allocations. Okay, you cannot see the RAM, you cannot see CPU, you cannot see storage, you cannot see it physically. I'm not saying you cannot see it virtually, you can see virtual also. Okay, how many scores are there, how much memory is there, how much storage is there, you can see everything, but those resources you cannot see physically. Okay, so why we should have virtual machines and all? Physical machines, what is the problem with the physical machines? The main problem with the physical machine is, here physical machine will occupy some space, right? Physical machine means it will exist physically, will occupy some space. So 10 years back or 15 years back, Servers means big racks will be there, big buildings will be there. If the organization is having 1,000 servers, again it has to, okay, build a separate building for placing the servers and all. Physically they will allocate some space, and again if any issue comes and all, that engineer will go to that building. He has to search where is that where is that machine, and he has to go there. And imagine if you have 10,000 servers in a building, if one machine is creating problems, how you are going to, okay, check that machine? You have to go physically to that machine, you have to check where it was stopped and all. Everything you have to check physically. That is the problem with the physical machines and all. Then, okay, like technology was improved, so they have created virtual machines and all. So virtual machines you can control from anywhere in the world. Virtual machines you can control from anywhere in the world. If anything, any issue comes with the virtual machine means, no need to go anywhere, simply you can use virtual console and all. By using virtual machine console, you can simply fix the issues and all. So there is no physical machine existed in the virtual machine concept. Physical machine will not existed, but the interface will exist. Whatever interface is there, that interface will exist. So people are going to, okay, check that particular interface and all. Engineers are going to check the interface and all, what is the problem, where it is creating problems and all, why it is not rebooting, why it is not shutdowning, okay, where it was stuck while rebooting the server and all. So they are going to check everything with the help of virtual machine console. So they can store the, they can save the storage means that whatever we can say building and all that, okay. And again they can easily accessible from anywhere in the world. Simply it needs a internet connection, okay. Simply that data center should have an internet connection, so everywhere in the world easily people can access the virtual machines and all, right? So in the organizations, mostly, okay, 25 percentage or 15 to 20 percentage will be physical machines in the organization. Mostly 15 to 20 percentage machines will be physical machines, okay. And 80 percentage to 90 percentage, okay, 80 percentage to 90 percentage machines are virtual machines. Uh, Physical machines, and up to 80 to 90 percentage, okay, we have virtual machines, okay. So most of the machines are virtual machines only in the organization, right? So if you want to create virtual machines, okay, we have to use different softwares, okay. We have three popular softwares to create virtual machines. So can anyone tell me what are the softwares we have to create virtual machines? What softwares we have in the market to create virtual machines?
Oracle
VMware.
VirtualBox,
Very good.
VMware,
VMware.
Hyper-V,
Very good, okay. So
Hyper-V.
yeah, Hyper-V from Microsoft as well again. Yeah, so we have different softwares. VMware, VirtualBox from Oracle, okay, this is from Oracle. And your Hyper-V, Hyper-V, Hyper-V from Microsoft. Okay, VMware is from VMware company only. Okay, so VMware, we have VMware software, we have VirtualBox software from Oracle company, and Hyper-V from Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft is also having virtual machine software. That software is called Hyper-V, but this is very less popular. Okay, these two are very much popular. This share is like 55 percentage, 45 percentage in the market. This is also that much popular. Oracle VirtualBox also that much popular. Okay, so VMware, by using VMware or VirtualBox, we are going to configure the virtual machines and all. For our practice, I am going to use VirtualBox. Why? Because usually VirtualBox will run on less resources. Okay, for VMware, if you want to create three machines, it will take lot of resources, lot of storage, lot of memory and all. Okay, VMware machines are good, but it will take lot of resources. But VirtualBox, even if you give less storage, less memory and all, it will work fine when compared to the VMware machines. Okay, for practice purpose and all, we are going to use Oracle VirtualBox. Sometimes, very rarely, you can see Hyper-V. Like 5% of market is there for, not 5%, less than 5% market is there for Hyper-V. Okay, so these are the three virtual machine softwares: VMware, VirtualBox, and Hyper-V. We are going to use VirtualBox. Maybe in your organization they may use VMware, but whatever they are using, don't bother for them. Okay, Why? Because we are not Windows admins, we are not VMware admins. Okay, so they can use any software. Ultimately, at the end of the day, whether we can access the server or not, that is the question. They can use any other platform, but for us, server should be accessible. So don't think like I want to get knowledge on VMware or Hyper-V and all. Okay, it's not an issue. Why? Because you will not get any hands-on experience in the organization on virtual machine softwares. You'll simply get the servers. You have to work with those servers only as a DBA. Okay, so we are going to use VirtualBox software for our practice purpose, right? So now I'll tell you how to install VirtualBox software. As I have already installed VirtualBox software in my local machine, let me, okay, start any other virtual machine, and I'll help you. Okay, I'll show you how to install this VirtualBox software in the machine. Same thing. Okay, you can install it in your local machine. And remember one more thing. Okay, if you want to install this virtual machine softwares, there is an option called virtualization. This option should be enabled in the Windows level. So if you want to install VirtualBox or VMware or Hyper-V, any VM software, if you want to install in your laptop, first the virtualization option should be enabled, or else after installation also you can enable the virtualization option. It should be enabled. Okay, if it is disabled and all, you cannot create different machines with different settings, all else configurations and all. So I'll help you how to enable this virtualization. Mostly I guess it will be enabled in your laptops, but if it is not enabled and all, I'll help you how to enable that option. So for that, what you have to do is you have to reboot your laptop. Before enabling, you have to reboot your laptop. Okay, then before coming the screen, once you rebooted, you have to press boot key. Okay, don't wait. Once you rebooted, okay, you have to press boot key. Boot key will be different for each laptop. For Dell laptop it will be F9, or usually function keys only will be there. Okay, for Dell laptop or Lenovo laptop it will be F9 or F10, or sometimes you will have F2 also as a boot keys. Okay, function keys F9 or F10, like that you will see boot keys. So once you rebooted that laptop, you have to keep on pressing the boot key so that it will go into the boot screen. There you can see configuration option. There I'll show you. Okay, I'll show you, don't worry at all. I'll show you some images so you will get some idea. Okay, um, boot settings, boot settings. Okay, for Windows 10, that's it. Let me go for the images. Okay, so these are the images for the Windows 10, right? Fine. Yeah. So like this it will be. Okay. So if you see here, okay, there will be one option called configuration, right? It's still loading. Okay. I guess it was loaded. Right. There will be one option called configuration, right? So in the configuration settings, see here configuration. If you go a configuration, there will be an option called virtualization. I'll show you that option as well. Virtualization, boot setting, virtualization in boot menu. See here, like this it will be virtualization technology. Usually it will be in disabled mode. You cannot use your arrow keys in the boot settings and all. You have to use, sorry, you cannot use your mouse or cursor. You have to use your right arrow, like up arrow, down arrow, right arrow, left arrow. Okay, right. So it will be usually disabled like this. So just click here. Okay, you can go with the help of your arrow keys and all to that option. Just use up arrow or down arrow, it will be enabled. Once it was enabled, hit enter. Then if you see here F10 to save, right? Just press F10 button, then it will save and it will exit from the boot settings. In that way you can enable the virtualization technology in the boot level. But don't worry, I'll help you in fixing that issue if you are having any issues in enabling the technology, right? Fine. So you have to enable the boot virtualization technology in the boot level, right? So now what I'm going to do, as I have already installed my VirtualBox software in the local laptop, so I have to show you how to install this VirtualBox software, right? Again, I cannot install, I'll get the error. So I'm going to turn on one virtual machine. I'll show you, like I'll connect to that virtual machine, then I'll show you how to install the VirtualBox software. Okay. Let me go to any machine. Okay, I'm starting this machine. You can double click on it. Again, don't worry, I'll explain every option. I'll explain. This is called your virtual manager console. Okay, This window is called virtual manager console. You can access or you can control all the machines by using this virtual box manager console. Okay, Oracle VM manager console and all. So the machine is starting. Just wait. Once it was started, okay, then I'll copy the virtualbox software to this machine, then I'll install it. Nothing. Next install. Don't think we will get chance to install virtualization, or else like we'll get chance to install virtualbox softwares in the organization. This is completely a Windows work. You don't even have permissions to do this activity in the organization. So it is only for our practice purpose. Okay, till the practice, okay, is going to end, or else till the course is going to end, we are the Windows admin, we are the SQL admins, we are the network admins, we are everything. Okay, so that's why we have to know how to install the software and all for practice purpose. But again, you won't get any like chance to install this virtualbox softwares and all in the organization. Already it will be set up everything. Okay, no need to set up everything. Almost everything will be done, so you have to simply connect to the servers and you have to work on it. Okay, right? If you have any issues, let me know in the meanwhile.
Your system will turn off no now, Shenmue.
Not my system, this is virtual machine. Okay, it will not turn off.
I know that time 2 seconds
Oh,
will
meeting is
show.
going to end.
Then
Yeah, meeting is going to end. I'll close it once it shows less than 1 minute, and again I'll reopen it. Okay. Just taking time. I'm using Windows Server 2012. Okay, I'm going to provide you the same Windows Server 2012 software. Okay, I don't have Windows Server 2016. I'm going to use Windows Server operating system as Windows Server 2012, and SQL Server I have 2017 as well. No issues. Right. Okay. Let me log into this machine.